Look at Thursday morning. South Central certainly been dealing with some windy conditions. Those winds picked up yesterday evening and whipped through the night. And this morning, we're still holding on to many areas across South Central, seeing at least some breezy conditions with some gusts still occurring through the valley as well as out towards Valdez. Giving you a live look outside. We're still up under that ridge of high pressure that's out near the Bering, and that is leading to sunshine as it really a large portion of the state expected to see plenty of sunshine as we close out this week. But it has been windy. You can see along the slope out towards Point Lay and Ukiavik, we're seeing those winds gusting upwards of 40 miles per hour. Cold Bay seeing winds up to 60 miles per hour. And then you can see across South Central as well as Southeast since midnight, we've seen those winds gusting anywhere from about 20 to 41 miles per hour in Wasilla. Actually, that should be updated to about 43 miles per hour. Some of the strongest winds, though, have occurred in Palmer, where we've seen winds peaking at around 71 miles per hour and still expected to hold on to some of those gusty conditions through the valley as we head through the remainder of the day. Even out towards the Parks Interchange in Palmer, we're talking about those winds have been gusting upwards of 62 miles per hour. As you head out towards Trunk Road, those winds have been gusting upwards of 54 miles per hour. So those Matanuska winds will stay with us. You have an additional day and a half of seeing some of those windy conditions for parts of the valley. So be prepared for that. Further inland into South Central, as you head into the Anchorage Bowl, winds haven't gusted as strong. Anchorage has seen, the airport has seen winds up to 30 miles per hour, as well as Jay Bear, while Eagle River has seen winds up to 21 miles per hour. But parts of the Glen Highway, as you head just to the west of Chugiak out towards the Birchwood Airport, we've seen those winds gusting upwards of about 33 to 35 miles per hour. So some of the strongest winds for Anchorage have been on the northern side and western side of the city. As you can see, South Anchorage as well as East Anchorage have seen those winds anywhere from about 5 to 20 miles per hour. So just a light breeze has been with you through the night. Now those winds certainly making it feel colder outside. You can see a wind chill of 8 degrees in Anchorage, 14 below in Fairbanks, 12 below in Galena. Not bitter cold as you step outside, but that is set to change. We're going to be talking about temperatures taking a downward trend, and for many, we're going to be seeing temperatures drop off about anywhere from 15 to 30 degrees across the state compared to where we're sitting at this morning. So go ahead and be prepared for some colder conditions heading our way across not only South Central, but into the interior as well. For that wind forecast in Anchorage, we'll likely see another hour or an hour and a half where we could see the potential for gusts up to about 20 to 30 miles per hour. But for the most part, we're done with those winds. You can see as we head into the weekend, things do begin to calm down for many areas across South Central, with the exception of the gaps and passes near the Gulf of Alaska, which could still hold on to some of those breezy conditions. And of course, from Valdez, Thompson Pass, and through parts of the Mat-Su Valley, you are going to hold on to those winds for an additional day, day and a half before we do begin to see that activity subside. So here it is. You can see wind gusts the next 48 hours. A heart of South Central, you can see really quiet, calm conditions can be expected by this evening. But notice that stretch from the valley down towards Valdez and just north of Cordova. That's where we're going to continue to hold on to some breezy or windy conditions. Now, winds should peak this morning into the afternoon hours and then gradually subside as we welcome in the evening. Overnight into tomorrow, I think Palmer will see those winds right around that 30 to about 45 mile an hour range. So you should see those winds subside greatly, but still breezy through the day tomorrow. And then as we welcome in the weekend, that's where we're really going to begin to see some calmer conditions, or at least the start of the weekend, bringing some calmer weather to, or calmer winds to the valley. So there's that ridge of high pressure out over the western parts of the state that's going to back off out over the open waters of the Bering as we welcome in the coming days. You can really take hold and look at that ridge when you're looking at that radar in the upper levels of the atmosphere, just how strong that ridge of high pressure is and how it's influencing pretty much the entirety of mainland Alaska. But as we welcome in the weekend, that ridge is going to do what we like to call retrograding, back off, back into the Bering Sea. It may weaken briefly, but still expecting it to remain fairly strong out over the water, out over open waters of the Bering. And as it does back off, you can see that trough of colder air that's going to dig south through Alaska as well as Canada. This is going to bring some of the coldest, if not the coldest air of the season that parts of the interior have seen. Now, here in South Central, we are going to be talking about some colder weather as well. Nowhere near as cold as what we've seen so far this season, but we will be talking about temperatures dropping down into the single digits as we welcome in your Sunday. So going ahead and giving you an early heads up that we will see cold weather arriving as we welcome in the weekend. And there it is. You can see Saturday a high of 15 degrees, Sunday a high of 9 degrees. There'll be at least 2 to 3 days across many areas for South Central where we could see some sub-zero values. That's primarily going to be for areas along the Parks Highway, East Anchorage, as well as out towards the Kenai, Soldotna, and the Nilchik area where we could see those sub-zero values starting Saturday night and lasting through Monday morning. So go ahead and be prepared for that. And then we're going to be talking about temperatures warming back into the teens and 20s as we head into next week. So you can really see this when we put this in future track. You can see that ridge backing off over the waters of the Bering. Still expecting to see mainland Alaska remain fairly sunny as we welcome in the weekend, but that trough of colder air digging southward is really our focal point as we welcome in your Saturday and Sunday. And we're also watching the potential for some rain and areas of snow that could impact Kodiak Island this Saturday, and then extreme southern parts of the Gulf of Alaska or coastal regions of South Central could see a mix of wintry mix or some light snow showers arriving as we welcome in next week. Certainly something to keep our eyes on, but for now, expect dry conditions. 24 for the high in Anchorage, 6 below in Fairbanks. We'll see temperatures along the slope. Pretty much the same thing we'll see here in South Central. 20s can be expected with some light snow for Dead Horse. Meanwhile, across western Alaska and the Aleutians, those temperatures in the 20s and the 40s, and then still holding on to some breezy winds out towards southeast with those temperatures warming into the 20s and 30s. There's that 7-day forecast, 16 tomorrow with those temperatures steadily dropping. There's those single digits that we can expect to see by Sunday with overnight lows near or below zero. And then we warm back into the teens and lower 20s next week. Looking at the possibility we could see some snow, although models are beginning to back off on that. But there is that outside possibility we could see some light snowfall next week. For now, though, enjoy the stretch of sunshine we're going to see that's going to stick around through Saturday before clouds begin to increase as we welcome in the start of next week. One more look outside as we continue to see that sun rising. Not much going on this morning, no freezing fog, just seeing some breezy conditions still with us. And again, if you live in Palmer, parts of the Matsu Valley as well as Valdez, Thompson Pass area, you will see an additional day of those winds before they subside into your Friday. We'll have more on that coming up in the noon as well as the evening shows. For now, have a great Thursday.